Welcome to Shadow Daddy Groupies, a podcast where we read fantasy books. We're Raven and Kelly. Get ready for us to bring you our unhinged book recommendations and even worse taste in men. Okay, welcome to Shadow Daddy Groupies. I'm Kelly.
I'm Raven.
And today we're going over Heavy by M.L Burns, which is a dark romance that Raven picked out.
No.
You picked it out. I did not pick out this book. I refuse to have anything to do with this book.
I was influenced.
Which, I did the same thing. Something popped up on Book Talk that looked really interesting, and we both read it and thought it was terrible. So, Book Talk sometimes leads us a little astray.
Mm-hmm.
And, in its defense, it has really good reviews on Goodreads. Its average is like a 4.52 stars. So people do really like this book. But with that said, I feel like we need to go over the summary of the book. The two main characters are Ronan and Cal. Cal is 27. Her apartment burns down under kind of mysterious circumstances. She calls up her mom, says, "Hey, Mom, can I go live in our vacation cabin? And while I'm there, I'm going to remodel it." Her job is like an architectural interior design. So her mom's like, "Sure, go up there, but just don't tell your stepdad, Eamon." Well, in the meantime, Eamon's brother, who is in his 30s, 38, okay, gets released from prison for murder. And his brother shows up. He's like, "Hey, brother, sorry I've been kind of absent from your life. I want to make it up to you. Come stay in my wife's cabin until you get your feet underneath you." So they both end up in this cabin at the same time. This is her step uncle, which is kind of one of the kinks, I guess, of this book. The taboo. And, it's this scary murderer guy with lots of problems. It's this chick who's kind of trying to fix him. I don't know. And then
Enemies to lovers all day. Forced proximity.
There's a lot of tropes in here. I don't necessarily think they were done well. But, some of our favorites, some voyeurism, for sure. And
For sure.
Raven's favorite part of this book was the epilogue.
And just to say, I do not ever read the epilogues. Ever. Ever. And I don't know. I just went into this. I didn't read the second part to the epilogue. There's two. So
there's two epilogues.
The second one, fuck that. I saw the kid thing and I said, no.
It's basically just to say that they lived happily ever after. That's basically the end of the book.
Yeah, but the first one
the second epilogue is that. And the first epilogue was just like a bonus sex scene where he yeah. So anyway, Raven, out of 5 stars, what would you rate this book?
I was thinking about the sex scene. I was thinking hard on that one. Probably 3.
3?
Only because it has tropes that I like. There's some things in it that I was like, they could have done without, or they could have changed this, and it's kind of weird. But then some of it was very realistic too.
Why don't you tell me about some of your favorite parts?
The tattoo shop where they met this guy when they were at the sex camp. They were humping outside. They met this guy, and the guy's a tattoo artist. And I guess after, what's his name?
Ronan
fucked her unconscious. He talked to some guy that does tattoos. At the end of the book, he takes her to this house and he meets this guy and she's like, where am I? What are we doing? She goes in this room and there's a tattoo bed and she lays on it and but she has to do it naked while she's getting tattooed by this guy. And then he's doing his thing down yonder with a camera and everybody else is watching. And that was kind of weird though that they just threw that page, like the internet thing that they do in at the end.
Yeah, so this tattoo artist has a voyeurism kink and he has kind of like an OnlyFans or something where couples come in and have sex while he tattoos them. So he gets to watch and then he like broadcasts it. So that's the
That's my favorite
scene.
part.
And that's our favorite part.
Oh,
Uh okay, what were some of your least favorite parts?
all of it.
Oh God.
Kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I didn't like the fire scene because it was kind of sad. I actually cried because I'm an emotional little twat. Um, that one chick, the bar scene was kind of hot, but kind of weird because it's kind of creepy. Not realistic. Not a lot of this book was actually realistic, except for the times that they were hanging out in the garage and the coffee maker. It's in the garage because they're remodeling. That's realistic. But other than that, no. There was some really nice times. I like the tension.
Okay, yeah. Some tension.
And he's
Banter.
oh, and I we get a description on piercings.
Oh yeah. They both have a lot of piercings.
She's her belly button and her bean, her
And he has
pearls.
this penis and his nipples.
Yeah, but he's oh, she's got her nipples too.
Yeah.
That's fun. Just flick those bitches in the shower is what I picture. Listen, I need another book that I need a book that's gonna cleanse my soul of the Bible.
Okay. I was about to rate this as 0 stars. I there were so many times where I wanted to text you and be like, I'm not finishing this book. But then you get to like 85% and I thought there was a good plot twist. You didn't really like the plot twist, but I thought the plot twist was halfway decent because
Where she was the
leading okay, leading up to the plot twist, there were so many plot holes that I was getting so frustrated with. And then the plot twist happens and you're like, "Oh, that's what she was trying to do." It didn't necessarily wrap it up in a bow. Like there's still some major plot holes, but it makes a tiny bit more sense of why they ended up in the cabin together. One, and two, why they both stayed. And basically, the plot twist is that her mother used to have a really bad drug problem. And now, and when she was a kid, her mom had a really bad drug problem. And now, the people that have all the dirt on her mom are associated with this mafia family. They're blackmailing this girl with information about her and her mom to kill Ronan. So she arranges in this roundabout way for them to end up in this cabin together so that she can murder him. But instead, she falls in love with him and she tries to back out of the deal and then they come after her. And I I was like, oh, okay.
I
I didn't
didn't
really see that coming.
I
I
didn't
thought that was
either.
a good plot twist.
I was like, what the fuck, this cunt? This cunt. I thought they were just gonna be like some normal family drama where they're like, oh my God, you've been living with him, and oh my God, you've been living with him. No, I fucking knew the whole time and I was planning this. I was very disappointed in her.
But in general, I thought she was a very flat character with like, I just didn't like her character. And honestly, I thought he was too he had like too many tropes and tropes that I don't know, maybe I just don't like. But, he was like supposed to be this kind of like broody murderer with some sort of like soft center sort of. I don't know. It just didn't work for me. The characters really fell flat. There's too many plot holes
The spice
and
was what written nice though, I think.
and but if you're looking for spice, there is a lot of spice in this book, and some of it I didn't think was great, but some of it was decent.
I,
Um,
you already know
so
which parts I was fantastic.
so if you're looking for
Dark romance
spicy
spice.
spice, you're looking for smutty smut, go for it. But
Mhm.
don't expect to like the
Don't
like
expect
the
the plot.
characters, or if you're okay with something with a lot of plot holes, then yeah. But I
Um,
just wasn't into it personally.
the part where she was in the kitchen and her uncle came in, or her stepdad came in, and she was on her knees in the kitchen, and he was like,
Oh
"Hold on,
yeah.
brother, 45 seconds," and then he was like doing his thing until she did
That
it.
was so dumb.
Oh, it was
I
so
was
hot.
not I did not like it. I was like, this is so dumb.
I didn't think so. I was like, "Wow, you tell him."
No, thank you.
Yeah,
That scene was can't I don't know. I didn't like it.
not a taboo. My taboo is not family. It, ugh. I can tell you that's not something that's on my list of.
Honestly, I think I was really done with it before this, but the
You didn't even want to read it, so it's okay.
but the descriptions of child SA were just too much for me. I get it, like, but I don't know. It was too much, and
The
the descriptions were too much, and the detail was too much, and I was just like, I just kind of started skimming. I was like, this is too much.
oh, but it's so I mean it happens all every day, all the time. It
Yeah,
sucks.
it does happen every day, all the time. But I just didn't want that much description.
That noted. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I nothing bothers me except for
yeah,
maybe reading a book about someone diving into a pool. That might that might freak me out. But
yeah.
I don't really get I'm not since I guess because I worked in like chemotherapy and pediatrics. And that's not I didn't really like, oh my God. I just had a cold heart.
Yeah.
I
I
can't
don't
help
know.
it.
It just didn't do it for me. I wasn't into it. And uh that's okay. This, like I said, a lot of people liked it. It got good reviews. If you like dark romance and
Smutty smut smut.
smutty smut, and you don't mind child essay, and one thing that you did say was uh all there was consent. And there was like one or two times where I was like, Raven, I don't think this is consent. And then right before she he took a step back and was like, if you don't want to do this, just tell me no. And then she'd be like, oh yeah, I do. And I was like, all right, there is consent. But
No,
there's like it's on the line for sure. Like
it's way more mentioned than it is in other books. Like tons.
it's on the line, and it might be the line that you like. Like there's a lot of
I don't
there's a
like
lot
it.
of
I don't like it if I don't know that the female character wants that. Then I don't. Mm-mm.
there's a lot of gray. There's this one random part of the book where she asks him to have sex with her while she's sleeping. And there's another part where he takes sleeping pills and says like it's okay if you like do stuff to me while I can't wake up. Um, sorry, let me go back to the other one. So there's a
Yes.
part where she asks him if he will have sex with her while she's sleeping. And he goes, "Oh, I've already done that. I already did that to you." And I was like,
It was like, oh God. I'm glad she wanted
okay,
it.
that's what I'm talking about like there's a
Mhm.
line or there's like a gray line where he does stuff to her and then he's like, "Oh wait, is this okay?" after he does it. And she's like, "Oh yeah, okay." And then I'm like, "All right."
I feel like she's also just a really fucked up individual. So it was kind of, she already had these things that she wanted to do. And like when she expressed them with her ex-boyfriends, they were like, no. Um,
Yeah, and that to me is fine. You're allowed to have kinks that I don't have, and as long as you and your partner are on the same page, great. And that's what I'm talking about, like consent, but the line was a little gray in a couple of places.
yeah,
It's
that
kind of like in Lights Out. One of the biggest complaints that people had about Lights Out was uh there was like a group over here that was like, he's a stalker, but he's a sweet stalker. And there were people over here who was like, he's a stalker. It doesn't matter. It's still stalking.
yeah.
Right. And he sets up the cameras and he starts like watching her. And in the background, he's like, I don't know if I should be doing this. And so some people give him a pass because he is guilty about it. And then he eventually tells her, like whatever, he has his line and he turns it off at certain points and he does it for a little while. And then he eventually tells her about it. And then she's like, oh, actually, I kind of like this. And then he continues to do it. But there's like a portion before that where there is no consent.
There's
And there's
questioning.
people over here that's like, it doesn't matter because he didn't get consent from the beginning. And then there's people over here that's like, well, he felt guilty about it. And eventually he did ask her and she was okay with it. So everything that happened before that is fine. So that's what I mean about this book is there's like a little bit of a gray line. He kind of does some things and there's like consent kind of happens in the middle of it. That's what I mean.
I think it wouldn't be so bad if you like know, like have been with a person and know the person and stuff like that and know that that's something that they wanted to do
And that's
versus
consent.
versus
Yeah.
just like, hey, I did it anyways. I wasn't going to tell you if you didn't bring it up.
Yeah. And
I
that's the
just
definition of consent.
thought
So
it was,
anyway, I just, you know, I I think that uh my idea of dark romance is like I kind of like the funny dark
the
romance.
comedy.
Yeah, I'm not sure I like the heavy haha dark romance
This isn't
where
even heavy.
the book's called Heavy. I was making a joke.
Oh, I missed that one. Woo!
um, like you said, it's dealing with things that happen in real life, and I'm not saying I that you have to ignore that those things happen. I just don't necessarily want to spend my free time and fun time reading about those things. They're just not for me.
I get it.
But they might be for someone else. So
I'm
if you like those tropes, then read this book. You might rate it a 5 star.
hmm, tattoo shop.
There was a so I almost dumped this book in like the first couple of chapters because I thought the writing was fucking terrible. Oops. I thought the writing was terrible. The writing did get a tiny bit better. I realized it wasn't the writing I liked, it was the characters that I hated. I just like there's nothing horrible about the writing. It's not very good
I
and the characters aren't written well and there's just something about it. I'm going to tell you, and may not understand this, but there was like a part in the very beginning of the book where she just kind of like randomly tosses out that she doesn't want to be harassed by looking at homeless people. And I was like, I'm done. I hate this character.
I didn't
Like,
even
fuck
notice
off.
that. I didn't even notice that.
Like, I don't want to have to walk downtown and see a homeless person. I was like, I already hate you. I'm done with this book. Shut the fuck up. Uh,
If you're the author, I would probably advise
don't
you to
don't
not
watch
watch
this.
this.
Don't watch this.
Oh, I'm
Uh,
sorry. I'm sorry, but the tattoo scene. Thank you, ma'am.
um, yeah, there's
What kind of tattoo shops do they have in Spain?
probably the same that we have here.
No, they might have the fun ones in Spain.
I was gonna say I started following a lot of authors on our Instagram and on our threads, and I do feel for authors that get bad reviews, and um, because I think that 99% of them are putting out something that they're proud of and that they like, and that's like whatever. And so I hate to shit all over someone's art. Um, but someone made a good point is like if you don't like it and you wrote a bad review, don't tag them in it. And I was like, okay, that's fair. Like if you don't like something, um, then maybe just keep
We
it to yourself. Unfortunately, we started a podcast, so
we, we did an entire book without naming the book because it was so bad.
yeah.
Uh,
I think this is my first like hating on a book review
uh,
this
no,
bad.
the other one was worse.
But we didn't say the name or the author of the
No,
other
this
one.
one. I mean, I can bleep it out a couple times. It just, I mean, we only said the word like 3 times.
Yeah, I mean,
Guess
then
this book.
we might as well not post the review, I guess.
No, I'm posting it.
We're just gonna bleep everything out.
No, I'm gonna post it like it is. Except for the first like 5 minutes when we were fucking scrambling and running around.
My point is if you're gonna bleep it all out, I
Yeah,
feel like there's no point in posting it, is what I'm saying.
yeah, so I'm not going to. I
Um,
just won't tag them.
I guess with that said, would I read another book by this author? Um, I don't know. Maybe.
There's
Like I said, the writing wasn't like the worst. You know how like you read something, you're like, man, this person cannot write. Like I wouldn't say that. It's just I just really hated these characters.
the first half of it, I felt the same way. I was like, the writing is just rough. It was rough. It was a rough ride. I think about halfway through is when it got better. Um, but there is other books that she has that I've already looked at and had a little interest in reading, but I'll save those for my time.
Yeah.
I mean, we gotta have some spice in here. I can't be playing with
Okay,
dragons.
I completely disagree with you. Silver Elite has spice. It's just not dark spice.
Yeah, we need to mix it up a little bit because after that dragon book, Lord, Lordy,
Uh,
Lordy.
okay, I disagree. I would feel like that book also has spice. Um,
I need more than three little, I need at least 3 scenes, but not all like little flirty scenes, like something decent.
okay, but she's meeting these men for the first time, and I feel like it had a progression.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't done this before. We are going to start with kissing. Oh, I haven't done this before. We're going to start with fingering. We're now moving on to fingering. Okay, finally, I'm going to have sex. So I just completely disagree. I don't think you need to
I mean, I
bang
guess
and
that's,
suck on the first time you've met someone like these characters. uh,
no, I don't, I agree, but I don't think it has to be slap full of spice. That's definitely not what I like having a plot to my stories too. This one is really heavy on the sex part, like every other page.
yeah, not every other page, but there is a lot. And I'm not saying that I don't like that. I do like spice and I don't mind a book with a lot of spice. I just didn't like the dark part of it. And which I've already said. I'm just defending the fact that we do talk about spicy books. You're like, Silver Elite doesn't have spice. It's not spicy. You literally just said that before we got on here. And I'm
Somebody tell
saying it
me
does
they
have
agree.
spice.
It does have
It's
spice.
just not dark spice. And
Yeah,
honestly,
it
I
has
feel
more
like
spice than Fourth Wing, so it's pretty good. I mean, besides the
I feel
story
like
not being
Cross is a better like morally dark or not, what am I trying to say?
black.
No.
No, he's
I
not
feel
black.
like Cross is a more dominant in the bedroom, a better written dominant in the bedroom character than this one. Because I feel like that's something that you like. You like dominant men in your books,
Hmm.
especially in the bedroom. Am I wrong?
No, no, not at all. You like, yeah, you're a praise girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Luther Corbois.
I will
Uh,
never, I'll
he
never
said
hear the end of that.
he said good girl and I was all in.
And
Oh, can we talk about the daddy kink in this book?
oh man, it's so weird. He's the
I
step
officially
uncle.
am. No, he made her early on call him daddy. And I realized in that very moment, I don't have a daddy kink. That is not for me. I'm
I
not into it.
I never had. I just,
Blech.
but all right, uncle.
I I was like, what is going on? This is so not sexy.
Yeah. And there's a lot of books that are written like that with like the whole step uncle thing. Like they want to be like right on the cusp of um whatever it's called. What's it called?
Incest?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. They it's like they're like right there on the line. They want to be as close as they can get to incest without being incest. And that's
Yeah,
how I
well,
feel
that
about
is a
that.
kink, I guess, for some people. Like the stepbrother thing, the step uncle thing, the whatever. But there is actual incest in this book in the child essay section.
Hmm. Yeah. There's
Um, so yeah,
what book
which also is very common. I get that. Anyway,
what book did we read before this? Oh yeah, Cross. Never mind, sorry.
Silver Elite.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. So
Well, thank you. That was
thanks for
fun.
coming in.
Thanks for
And
stopping by.
thanks for stopping by and listening to Kelly hate read this book.
And me gosh over the scenes. The one scene.
They had its parts, I guess.
The one scene. All right, if anyone is interested, just get the book and then go to the
Read the
epilogue.
read the first epilogue, not the
Second
second
one,
epilogue.
unless that's your thing, yeah, go for it. But you'll see what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Bye.